Here we go. Let's get this money. Live stream on a Saturday morning because of the mic issues yesterday. I'm gonna get to the Patreon questions real quick. So because like the mic was bad. So hopefully the mic is better now. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to the first question. J Bar, Mahomes 2 pass touchdowns. Off a bye, him and Andy Reid scheme up something because they ain't running much on San Fran. Yeah, man. I'm not sure. I would say Mahomes is going to have a big day because that San Fran secondary is questionable, and outside of Bosa, no one's really getting much of a pass rush. So that's my take on that. I would be very cautious about that. So let me know if the mic's good because this is the first time I'm using YouTube Studio. Okay, from Cujo. John, don't you think it's a big advantage for the Jags being there for 2 weeks in a row and the other teams traveling? I do, but you saw that late line movement last week. Like the Jags were at +2, maybe even +2.5, and then you saw that completely shift the day of the game. And what's up, Noah? Morning, man. Yeah, and then you saw it shift the day of the game. So I think it's an advantage. I'm just not. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't like Patriots with the spread. There's too much variance with their performance, but I'm in it for the money line. Like I said, I wouldn't make that a real bet. It's a +220 for a reason. Thank you, Cujo. Richard Lockhart, do you think the Browns can pull out the win? And should I go ahead and take the Jets since Russell Wilson is starting now? Yeah, man, I'm on the team fade Russell Wilson. And the Browns, I don't know if we need to force it. I do like the Browns with the spread, Richard. Slurry Pumper. Hey, John, do you think the Flippers will have some actual offense? Huntley has been there a month now. I think the 42.5, maybe 43 is going to happen if the Finns can show any proof of life here. I agree. And I'm listen, I wanted Flacco to start. I didn't want to see AR. But honestly, man, I'm looking at this game and I think it's a good chance for AR to eat. And this Dolphins defense, I think they're better than advertised, but they've been in such bad game flow because the offense of the Dolphins is terrible. And we know the weakness of the Colts is that defensive line. So that's where I go. RJ, how often do we get the Texans as an underdog? I agree, man. I agree. RJ thinks they're going to win outright. I agree. Hey, John, Chiefs as an underdog against a 49ers team without McCaffrey. Is this a trap game? I don't know, man. Like I said last night, Alan, I don't know if I'm just itching to bet this. I'm not really into betting the Chiefs games, to be honest. Like, I don't mean to sidestep the biggest game of the week, maybe even the biggest game of the year if you go by TV ratings. But I'm not interested. I would take the Chiefs. I'm worried about the 49ers defensively. Van Burrell. Hey, John, quick question. What do you think about this new betting AI last week? Yeah, I'm not sure. Last week, favorites won. I assume AI is going to go with the favorites. I think AI has some serious issues as it is. Like, I don't think it's all that intelligent. Ron Borkwin, 6-point teaser thoughts. Any you would drop? Houston +9, I like it. Rams -1, I like it. No names -3. Baltimore +2.5. I mean, with the Wang method, Baltimore +2.5, you're exposed. Washington -3, you're kind of exposed, but I think they beat the hell out of the Panthers. I would drop Baltimore with the 2.5 just based on math. So teaser video will be up tonight on Patreon, Ron. So I think you'll be able to get some other ideas. Von, Seattle's in straight desperation mode. Do you think the Falcons -3 is a safe play? Well, nothing's safe, especially with the Falcons. But I think the Seahawks injuries in the secondary are a huge issue. Lawton Hargrove, Dolphins are a cluster, Colts at home. Explain why the Colts aren't a lot before I go big. Thanks. Well, Lawton, I'm cautious on that game because I still respect Miami. but maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I have PTSD. Mike McDaniel's won us a lot of money in previous years, but he's giving it all back this year. I just don't like getting against him because he is an offensive genius. But you even see Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's unhappy. IMG333 Lawson, we killed it last week. It was fun, man, sweeping it, and we went hard. I told you guys to attack the Chargers. Nothing's better than the feeling when you attack something, and it was sweat-free. I was prepared for a sweat. I knew it was going to be a sweaty week, but for some reason the games weren't sweaty. Even the Steelers pulled away, and I felt like Justin Fields was excellent, by the way. What do you think about the Texans over? I'm not really feeling it. I think that's going to be a playoff atmosphere, but I think there's definitely an avenue where that turns into a shootout. I'm just cautious on that. Not in love with that over-under as well. What other over should I tease with? I would tease the Panthers, Commanders. Let's not overthink it. Panthers offense is playing better than people think, and Jaden Daniels is an absolute monster. Juicy Purser, what do you think about New England plus 5.5 and over 41.5? Juicy, I'm more on the Patriots money line. There's too much variance with their performance. And guys, make sure you go check out the player prop videos. I think we got some gems on there. Kells, Laws, do we go back the first couple of weeks and go against these points? Man, I do think there's going to be some upsets. There's always going to be parlay busters, Kells. I'm just, man, I'm not diving too much into that. I'm not hearing the voices. I'm not seeing the ghosts. I'm just trying to make the best picks for us and do what we need to do. People were giving me noise about picking the Lions and saying they were public last week. But also the Chargers, like the Broncos finished with 70% of the bets. We picked the games where we have an avenue. Caveman Luke, sup, Lawson? Thanks for getting back to me on IG. I hit that 4-team teaser. Money, money, money. Got another one for you. Falcons plus 7, like the Falcons. Cincy plus 4.5. Rams plus 3.5. No names plus 1.5. I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. And Justin Mann's asking if you were the one who posted the teaser that hit on Patreon last week. Quarter shot. The Falcons have been good to me. Is this the week to jump off? I don't think so, Cora. Derek, hey, John, hope you're doing well, man. Looking for some teaser advice. What 2 games, if any, don't you like on the 7-point teaser? The only one I would take off, Derek, I think this is your best work. The only one I would take off of that list would be, I would take off, I would just take off. I wouldn't take off any, but if I had to take off one, it would be Detroit because I think the Vikings play good. I know we all want to get on and fade the Vikings, even though they won us money on Patreon this year, but I think we need to be cautious with it. Jerome Taylor, hey, John, what's good, my friend? Thanks for the pick last week. Thanks for the picks last week. No, Jerome, thank you for getting on Patreon. Link in the description. So what do you think about Washington this week? I think they will run away from the Panthers. Yeah, I'm worried about the Panthers. They have so many injuries. Like, you look at 2 teams that are so banged up. Like, you got the Seahawks. Look at their secondary. But look at the Panthers. Their whole front seven's on the injured list. It's absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Cows, John, what's up? What do you think about the 49ers, Lions? Yeah, Cows, I answered. You were there yesterday. Wheezy, hi, Lawson. I'm in it to win it. Which team can I go hard on this week? Some of them look like a trap. Like I said on the Patreon post, listen, I told everyone to attack the Chargers. We only had 3 bets last week because I wanted you guys attacking. I wanted your resources ready to recoil and attack the Bugs. This week, it's more volume on Patreon. And I don't want anyone going hard on any of these games. Like, I got good reads. I'm feeling good. But this week, I saw like 6 or 7, like I honestly wanted to throw money on, but I didn't see any. I felt like we could attack where we could be like a vulture swarming around a fucking dead carcass. Like, I don't see any like that. Mike, hey, John, does this get recorded? Mike, I'm recording it again. So normally it always gets recorded. Just the mic yesterday was an absolute disgrace. My bad on that. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Dave, I'll let you know on Patreon what Coop said. Um, I know we agree on I know we agree on quite a few. Always learning. Thoughts on the over under no names team total 30 and a half. I like it. I like it. 30 and a half is an awful lot. This is a good question. Always learning. It's an awful lot. I would lean towards like the first half over. When we were looking at it on Discord, it was maybe 16 and a half. I think they get 17-20 in the first half. I mean, just judging by the game flow of the Panthers, like that's a bad defense, man. It's a historically bad defense. Cows. Okay, gotcha, Cows. Yeah, yeah. It normally shows at 6 p.m. Eastern. Okay, 6 p.m. Eastern Friday. Ray Ridge, John, I must have missed the picks for this week. If any Patreon member out there, please post the money picks. Yeah, Ray, I put up one early. I think I put it up Thursday during the day. And put up the Kamara prop. I hope you saw that on Thursday night because it hit sweat free. But other than that, Ray, yeah, they're up Friday. They're up. They should be in your email. Go check your email. Quack! Sam Darnold is going to come back down to earth soon. Lions could be the team to have him seeing ghosts again. Is there any way Giants can upset Philly? I can't see it. I can't see it either, Quack. I just feel like we're on an island with this one. I feel like we're on the island. Like there's so many people I respect on. There's so many people I respect who are on the Giants this week. So it gives me caution because I respect them. No, Joe, we're good on the mic. It was just a technical difficulty, but thank you for your generosity. Okay, here we go. Yeah, man, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Also, is anyone here on the Giants? If you are, tell me why. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. No one really came out of the Wolves. Like I know a lot of boys on Discord are on the Giants. Yeah, thank you, Alex. Thank you. So I got through the Patreon questions as quick as possible. Yeah, Mike, I'm up early, man. You know I'm not a morning person. Yeah, and good morning, Mike. Money. Thanks for the picks weekly from Kingston, Jamaica. It must be nice living in paradise. Must be nice. Good morning from California, 640. JJ, I didn't know you were in California. So, yeah, man, early. Yeah, I think because Neighbors is back, like, I think that's a factor. And, like, I've been saying the whole year, Giants are undervalued in the market. And I had them to cover against the Hawks, but was I beating my chest and saying, go get it? Like, absolutely not. If I see something I like, I'll go beat my chest and I'll go do it. But I don't know. Like, it's a tough team to pull the trigger on. I thought, like, Michael Mann gave a good counter narrative yesterday. I think that game amounts to a coin flip because of, like, the Eagles' sloppiness. Like, I felt like Michael Mann was on point with that. It was honestly the best explanation I heard. And at a certain point, we have to understand what we're doing. We're at like 50-50 splits. And, we're looking for that 54, 56% where they make a mistake. And if it's a 60%, we have to go hard. But yeah, it's kind of a coin flip. Yo, Sticks, what's up? Tyreek over 55.5 yard receiving. Is it a go? I don't know. I don't know. He doesn't seem confident in the offensive game plan. I mean, it seems like stealing. I don't know how this Colts secondary is getting it done. Like, I know Will Levis was absolutely terrible last week. The shoulder wasn't ready. I don't know what Callahan's doing. I don't know if we should throw out that sample size. I've been pleasantly surprised with this Colts secondary. I don't know why. I felt like they were the worst secondary going into the league. And maybe I should like not react to stimuli and just like fade that. But it's tough. Like, I mean, Tyreek was complaining about the play calling, and honestly, man, he's got a right because Mike McDaniel's on tilt. Like I'm the biggest fan of Mike McDaniel that there is, but he's on tilt, man. Baltimore money. I kind of agree. Like that hook for the Bucks. Like I think Vegas is leaving that there for a reason. And you guys know I'm not one to like hear the voices like that, but I feel like they're leaving it there for a reason. Michael Mann, do we got an update on Deontay? Did they rule him out? How serious was that injury? Since we had like a lot of questions about the Commanders game, I felt like we did that good last night. That's what was so shitty about the Mike situation. Like, and I really needed to get my Patriots take off. Like, I felt like that Patriots take was important because it sounds ridiculous me saying I like Patriots money line more than the spread. Like, I felt like I gave a good take for it. Even went into field conditions, and then that Mike just sounded like I was underwater. Brandon Rich, how do I get on the Discord place? It's executive tier on Patreon. So like when you go to Patreon, there's two tiers. You go to executive tier. I call them executives. Like we got some executives on there, man. It's good to talk, man. Like I'm not offering anything special with it. Created a lot of confusion. I'm not offering anything special there, but we got some like really smart guys on there, like and guys I can vouch for that I've been betting with for 4 years. Like I know you guys like dunking on Michael Mann and like that's funny, but Michael Mann's been like his takes have been fucking fire this year, by the way. Like Michael Mann's coming good. So like just an example of people I've been betting with for 4 or 5 years. Like most of my viewers have been here 4 or 5 years. Like I think that says like more about me. I think that says I think that's the highest degree of compliment a man can have. So J-Law Rams money line, Anthony, like, but aren't you gonna be like minus 280, minus 300? I mean, I think the Rams are a great teaser option. I'm cooking up a teaser this week. I will say, like, I'm struggling with teasers. Like, it's been a verbose week from me, but I am struggling with teasers. Like the fifth leg, the fourth leg, it's been tough. Like, of course, the 2-leg Texans Falcons hit, but people don't want like a minus 110 with the teaser, and I completely agree with their sentiment. But man, like these 4-leg teasers have been keeping me up at night, getting these gray hairs going on the side. Steelers +1, KC money line, Lions money line. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like I don't know if this is the week to get against the Vikings with the bye. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not jumping. Like I'm very realistic about my Vikings, and there is going to be a little bit of fall off from Sam Darnold. Let's be honest. Like it's been absolutely phenomenal. It's been fun. We call him Sunshine. I like the nickname, by the way. Strawberry blonde hair. Listen, I'm liking the story. I'm loving it, but I like the Vikings coaching staff more. And I feel like that Aiden Hutchinson thing is something we can't quantify. Like, obviously, we can quantify the Aiden Hutchinson injury tactically, but can we do it emotionally? Like, honestly, man, a lot of talk about TJ Watt. You guys hear me hype up Will Anderson a lot, but I don't know if there's a better defensive player in this league right now than Aiden Hutchinson. I don't. And then they pick up Davenport, which I felt like was a savvy dice roll, kind of like the Saints picking up Chase Young. Like, why not take the risk? Edge rushers are at a premium. Same with the Panthers picking up Clowney. But the problem is all those guys are hurt. So what you going to do, man? They're already hurt. And I feel like the Lions desperately need an edge rusher, especially with Aaron Glenn's defense. Like I've been on record saying I think this Lions defense is better than you guys. I do. Like I think they're better than the public says, but a big part of that press man-to-man, they're always in man. A big part of that, in my opinion, is Aiden Hutchinson absolutely tearing through people. And I'm not saying he's like TJ Watt with the strip sacks or We saw Will Anderson completely faceplant Drake May. Credit to Drake May staying in that game after his shoulder got completely just combusted. But I do think there's a limit to Detroit, and it's bad when I have to be the one sounding the alarm, like saying, like, maybe we should have backed Detroit this week. Like, we backed them last week. Let's get off. Let's get back. Let's get back. And I'm a golf guy, but I do think there's going to be a little bit of fall off. And I do think Brian Flores off of bye week is scary. Do I think this Brian Flores defense will fall off as the year goes on? Yes. But, like, they lose Danielle Hunter, and I got all depressed. Yeah, they get the kid from Alabama, Turner, and he's playing at an extremely high level, and then he misses a game, and the Vikings are getting more pressure than ever. Yeah, man. If Jameson Williams goes off in that game, like, which is entirely possible. I know Coop loves his player props this week. It's entirely possible. Like, I think that's the matchup. Like, on the player prop video, like, I think Amon-Ra's going under. What was it? Like, what was it? Amon-Ra's like 75.5. Like, I don't think this is a good matchup. You got Metellus, you got Harrison Smith roaming down in the area in the slot where he likes to work. It's going to have to be a Jameson Williams Lepore today. It just is. Just is. And Goff's going to have to work it down the field. It's going to be an interesting game. I just think maybe it's one we don't bat. Like, I wanted to go back to Vikings. I do kind of find, like, the Vikings alternative line appealing. Like, bringing that out to 8.5, 9.5. If the Lions are just emotionally spent, if they just completely sullied the load, so to speak. Okay. Mike says he hasn't heard anything on Deontay Johnson's status. Dude, Ben Johnson, his bag is deep. His bag is deep, man. And the Lions have an identity in this league. But you want to know what? They're playing a team with an identity. I don't know about you guys. I don't like using words like identity because it can mean 40 different things to 40 different people. But when I look at teams with an identity in this league, Lions are number one on that list because of Dan Campbell, and that man bought us a car for a reason. Secondly, it's hard to see a team with more of an identity than the Vikings right now. Like, on my list, I go like Lions, Vikings. You got to put the 49ers in there, although they've lost their defensive identity. You used to be able to put Miami in there. They've lost their way. They don't even throw it deep anymore. And then you used to be able to put the Cowboys in that list, even though, like, yeah, Cowboys laugh out loud, but they used to run the ball and hit you with play action. Now, what do they do? What do they do well? Do they attack on defense? They're missing Dan Quinn. I'm seeing quite a bit of identity out of the Commanders. But outside of, like, those teams I listed, of course, the Chiefs have an identity. It's Mahomes and Andy Reid cooking, and refs throwing flags at inopportune times. Even like the Bills, man, the Bills, I'm actually seeing more of a defensive identity from them this year, but I don't know if they have like an offensive identity, like they're trying to run it more, but they kind of have to because of lack of receivers. Yeah, Sylvester, I kind of agree about KC's defense having an identity. Like, we know what Spagnuolo wants to do. He wants to unload the clip at you on third down. He wants to bring pressure in the A-gap, and he wants to get up on wide receivers, and he's willing to take the risk. He's willing to give up a big play. And good morning, Action Jackson. No, Theta, you're right. You're right. The Lions have to run the ball. That's another reason why I like that Amon-Ra under. And I'm the biggest Amon-Ra guy he is. Like, he's the player prop king. Player prop king, Amon-Ra St. Brown. But Vikings kind of been stopping the run good, but I agree because if the Lions are running it, they're in third and short, they're in third, and even if they're in third and 5, it's tough for Flores to rain those zone blitzes and move Metellus and Smith around. They're in third and 9s. Like, that's when Goff's arm really shows when he doesn't have enough pop and verb and spin on the ball. Yeah, hit the like button. Why did you change your pick on the Vikings Lions? Because Mike, I just think like this bye week is big, and I think this bye week's going to help the Vikings. Like I do think the Lions kind of busted a load against Dallas, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. It's fine to make a statement. Like I enjoyed this statement, but Aiden Hutchinson, that's a plus player, Mike. That's a guy that moves point spreads. And there's not a lot of guys in the league outside of quarterbacks that move point spreads. I don't know about you. And like I said, like I think he's been the best defensive player this year so far. Like even if he doesn't get a sack, he's just always around the quarterback. It's insane. And the thing the Lions defense does really well is stop the run. So that's been a big part of the Vikings game flow. Vikings running the ball, pounding, and then play action with Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold staying strong in the pocket. Like the Jets were hitting them, they were roughing them up, and I know Sam wasn't good, but Sunshine didn't back down. He wasn't fading like you said he did at the Panthers. Like at week 4, week 5, he got beat down, and like you said, he started fading because he does have deceptive speed. He started fading out of the pocket. Can Detroit hit him? Are they going to be able to hit him? I mean, I feel like Kevin O'Connell's a great psychotherapist too. Like, I mean, look at some of the production he got out of Nick Mullins. And I feel like this Vikings offensive line is the best we've had in the O'Connell era, and it's way better than some of the slop Zimmer threw out. No, I know. I Gibbs as a quantity that is ridiculous. Like him and Montgomery, dude, like they talked about like Tiki and Brandon Jacobs being thunder and lightning. No, that's thunder and lightning. That changes games. Jameson Williams finally emerging. As a fan of him, I'm happy to see it. I'm really happy to see it. Hopefully he doesn't get in trouble or fail a drug test or whatnot, because we know if the Chiefs player like assault someone or damn near kill someone in the car, like they're not going to get suspended. Lions aren't going to get that same treatment. What game do I think is going to put on the 6-point teaser? What game do I think is good? For a 6-pointer, let me just bring up the spreads and we'll end it there. I got some soccer bets up on Patreon, some like plus money. We're going like plus 250. We're out wigging. Let's see how it goes. For a 6-pointer, I would bring the Texans up. I would think about bringing the Texans up. And I would also think about too much variance with the Patriots. We don't know how bad they're going to be. I kind of think they'll be good. Yeah, I would say actually Giants are a good candidate. I mean, of course you want to get like the Commanders minus 3.5, but that doesn't make mathematical sense. Actually, give me the Chiefs and Rams. Bring the Chiefs up. That's going to be a 1-score game, man. Like that's going to be a 1-score game. Like I think the Chiefs play well, but I think that's going to be a 1-score game. All right, guys. Hopefully I answered the Patreon questions I missed last night. I got to some that were important and touched on the games I wanted to touch on. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Good morning, guys. Go check out that player props. And Lomar, I haven't seen you in a while, man. I haven't seen you in Lamar. I haven't seen Lomar in a while, man. Nice to see you. Good morning. Morning, guy. Yeah, good morning, Fiore. Good morning, man. Good morning. Oh, yeah, Sal. I agree. We always make money at the end of the year, though. Like, I wouldn't be in business if we didn't. Hit the like button, share the videos. Let's get this money.